I spent 48 hours auditing every single packet and permission in my digital life, and I realized my smart toaster, yeah, a bloody toaster, was sending more data to a server in a foreign jurisdiction than I send to my own mother. I'm sitting here looking at my terminal right now, and the scroll is relentless. Whilst I'm typing this, a device designed to brown bread is currently engaged in a high-frequency conversation with an IP address 3 continents away. Most of you see a sleek app interface or a glowing LED on the counter, right? But when I strip away that polished UI, the reality is a lot messier. This is the packet sniffing reality check, and it is quite literally a bloodbath of privacy. I'm not just talking about some minor glitch or a background update, you see. I'm talking about a systematic harvesting of your personal space. I'm watching these pings go out in real time, and honestly, it's brilliant in its audacity. Your devices are never truly asleep. They are heart-beating, checking in, and reporting back to motherships you never gave permission to contact. Look, we've been sold a lie that these gadgets work for us, but the raw logs tell a different story. They show that we are the ones providing the raw materials for a data economy that thrives on our silence. I've spent the last 2 days sniffing every packet that leaves my router, and what I found is a complete collapse of digital sovereignty. Your home isn't a castle anymore, mate. It's a data farm. And you're the crop. I'm peeling back the layers to show you the ugly, unencrypted truth of what your devices are doing when you're not looking. This isn't just about a chatty toaster or a smart bulb that wants to know your GPS coordinates for some reason. It's about the 142 distinct vulnerabilities I found buried in my own supposedly secure ecosystem. From hard-coded credentials to unencrypted telemetry being blasted into the void, the sheer scale of the exposure is daunting. You might think your network is a fortress, but I'm about to show you why it's actually a sieve. You see, the architects of Silicon Valley didn't just build software. They engineered a brilliant lie. They convinced you that connectivity is synonymous with security, right? They sold you a narrative where the more integrated your life is, the safer you are. But whilst you were enjoying the seamless experience of a frictionless digital life, they were quietly dismantling your perimeters. Take those login with Google or sign in with Apple buttons you see everywhere. It's a protocol called OAuth, and look, on the surface, it's a stroke of genius. No more forgotten passwords, no more messy account recovery. But look closer and you'll realize it is the ultimate centralization of risk. Think of your entire digital existence as a high-security hotel, okay? Instead of a unique key for every door, the management gives you one MasterCard. It's convenient, sure. But if I'm a hacker and I swipe that one card, I don't just have your room. I have the penthouse, the vault, and the bloody CCTV room. You traded your digital autonomy for the promise of never having to remember a string of characters again. And in doing so, you created a single point of failure that is bloody massive. Then there's the myth of the vault. We've been conditioned to think of the cloud as this ethereal, untouchable sanctuary. A digital fortress floating in the ether where your files are safe from fire, theft, or loss. In reality, the cloud is just someone else's computer. It's a warehouse full of servers in a desert somewhere, and it has a massive target painted on its back. Every time you sync your photos or back up your keychain, you aren't really securing your data. You're handing it over to a corporation that values your metadata more than your actual privacy. These companies built empires on this data, whilst telling you it was all for your protection. They want you to believe that a closed, interconnected ecosystem is a fortress. But the 142 flaws I found prove it's actually a cage. We've built our lives on an architecture of convenience that was never designed to protect us, but to control us. But look, that's not even the craziest part of what I found buried in the code. Because whilst these systems are busy centralizing your data, there is something much more predatory happening in the background that most people completely miss. I started looking under the hood of these smart features. And what I found, it's chilling. Look, every single convenience we're sold is, in reality, a bloody massive backdoor. You see, the industry operates on what I call the innovation paradox. Manufacturers rush to be first to market, which means security is always an afterthought, usually buried under layers of marketing hype. Most of your IoT gear, I mean your smart fridges, your connected cameras, even your light bulbs, they're running stripped down, unpatched Linux kernels from as far back as 2014. To a script kiddie or a seasoned threat actor, your home network isn't a fortress. It is quite literally a playground. Whilst you're enjoying the brilliant ease of dimming your lights with a voice command, you are hosting a decade-old vulnerability that has never been patched. And let's be honest, it likely never will be. And this is where the shadow economy thrives. I discovered the benign apps, things as simple as a weather tracker you downloaded years ago and forgot about, are silently scraping your location history and selling it to data brokers. These brokers then map your life with terrifying precision, creating a digital twin of your movements that is bought and sold in the dark corners of the web. But the real danger, the thing that should keep you up at night, is the cascade. One obscure form breach from a site you forgot you even had an account for can cause your entire digital identity to fall like a house of cards. Because you have centralized your vulnerability by design, a single leak provides the metadata needed for identity thieves to bypass your bank security or hijack your primary accounts. It is a house of cards, built on a foundation of sand. And the only person who loses in this transaction is you. Think about it. You're literally paying for the privilege of being compromised. But as deep as this rabbit hole goes, I found one specific flaw in the way our devices talk to each other that makes a simple data leak look like child's play.
Look, after reviewing my findings, the verdict is quite literally daunting. 142 security flaws. That's not just a statistic, mate. It's a bloody autopsy of my digital life. You see, we've been conditioned to believe that convenience is the ultimate currency. But looking at this list, I realize we've been paying a bloody massive tax in the form of our own autonomy. We're living in a digital dystopia cleverly disguised as a playground, where every frictionless interaction is actually just a telemetry point for a corporation. Or worse, a breadcrumb for some threat actor on the dark web. Look, the audit doesn't lie. Those 142 flaws are 142 reasons to stop being a passive consumer and start being a digital sovereign. Now, I'm not telling you to retreat to the woods or start wearing a tinfoil hat. I mean, that's a loser move, right? I'm telling you to reclaim the deep tech knowledge that the Silicon Valley giants want to keep locked behind a black box. You need to build your own firewalls. I'm giving you the roadmap to harden your personal network right now, because the bleed has to stop. It starts with network segmentation. Seriously, stop letting your smart fridge talk to the laptop where you do your banking. And physical security keys, use them. Because whilst SMS two-factor feels safe, it's actually just a gift for a halfway decent social engineer. We're talking encrypted DNS, de-Googled hardware, and a total scorched earth policy toward unnecessary permissions. Look, in the modern world, if you're not auditing your life, I can guarantee you that someone else is doing it for you. They're analyzing your gait, your shopping habits, even your vulnerabilities, just to sell you back to yourself. It's time to make a choice. have the mindless comfort of engagement-tuned exposure, or you can have your autonomy. I know which one I'm picking. If this dive into the digital abyss sparked something in you, I want to know which of these flaws surprised you the most. Drop a comment below. And if you want to keep your head above water in this mess, you might want to stick around. Stay skeptical.